listen, some men, that's how some men are. Some men want to, some men, they start off in the beginning as being the macho man. But as you get to know them, you realize that it might have been just a front to get your attention. But they didn't know you was going to be asking for loans and stuff, ladies. So sometimes a man, he don't necessarily got to be lying about where he at. But he may come off looking a little bigger than what he is when he initially meets you on that first meet, the first couple of times or something. He may, try to impress you by being bigger than that. But then when you call him out on it and ask for a loan, and that's a done deal. I mean, hey, you get what you ask for. Okay. Somebody said a married man. Woo, a married man. That is so true. Women should not be dating married men, period. Period. It ain't no good gonna come out of it. You're gonna always be looking over your shoulder. This side chick thing has gotten too big. Men, first of all, that are married should not put themselves in the position to be around females that they know that they may be attracted to. They shouldn't do that. And these things won't happen. But unfortunately, our men of today think that it's okay. Nobody fears God anymore. When we look at it, back in the days, men honored their wives a lot more than they do now because we didn't have as much technology out here. We also didn't have as many women out here who really just didn't care. We just living in a I don't care society now. And the women really do not care if they sleep with your man. They don't care. They're going to do it. Especially, now that everybody's on drugs and stuff, popping pills, popping Molly, sipping syrup. That's where we lose our generations at, is whenever these drugs start taking over. And some of them don't have to be on drugs. Some of them just got it in them from the beginning. That they only got married to make it look good, especially if the woman got pregnant. This kind of goes back in the days, like the 1900s and stuff, and the early 1800s. People did right back then for the sake of reputations. For the reputation of the family, to make the family look good, but not necessarily were they in love. They just happened to have got pregnant, or either they just wanted the sex early and started sleeping together, and to make it look right, they went on and got married. And in the end result of it, because the love was not real and genuine and not based off in a solid foundation, in the end, what ends up happening is the men go out and cheat, causing the women to end up being side chicks, adulterous, basically. Now, this was my favorite answer right here. Oh, God, I didn't know this many more that came in. But this was one of my favorite. These next two are my favorite answers. This is from a man, by the way. One who destroys everything you took the time to build. One who makes you feel less than your worth. One who doesn't notice you got your hair and nails done. One who can't even open your car door. Or worse than that, who walks in front of you instead beside you. One who comes before you. He was talking about sexual cum too, by the way, ladies. One who comes before you and leaves you frustrated. Who always talk and never listen. Who doesn't give you flowers because, and then he says, shall I keep going? Well, I kind of wish this one would have kept going. That was getting juicy, wasn't it? That was getting juicy right there. Well, yeah, he's right. He's right. He said it. He summed that thing up. He just missed the God part, but we already knew that. But other than that, he summed it up. Men who don't appreciate you are ones that you should not be dating. You shouldn't be dating a man who doesn't see you for who you are or value you, period. You shouldn't be dating a man who can't take the time to stop what he is doing to come and appreciate you. He might not can afford flowers, but get a pencil and some crayon and paper. Go back in the day. If you can't afford a card, Make one. Do something to make your woman feel special. Do something, anything. Oh gosh. Okay. And the next one says, this is from a man's point of view too. That's why I said these men are killing it. Let me read that question again for you. So if you're just joining in, you know what we're talking about. I am answering the answers to the question, which was, what's the worst kind of man to date? And I'm going over these answers. And a man said, the ones that don't know your worth. If a man knows your worth, he'll get out and hit a 9 to 5. He'll never disrespect you, call or even think of you as something other than the woman that the Lord made you. Oh yes, women are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are more valuable, silver and precious than gold. If you get the gut feeling a man just wants to be with you, to just sleep you, go with your gut. Kick him to the curb. No, don't get me. Oh, he meant to say now. I'm sorry. Now, don't get me wrong. There are wholesome men in this world. Men who see you as God intended them to see you. Ladies, you got to know your worth. You're valuable. And I know my wife, April, is. I'm not going to call her last name. Wow, that's beautiful right there. That's brutal. It's always beautiful to see a man uplift his woman and not to be ashamed of his woman. A man who just comes out and says, hey, this is what I do for my wife. Now, not all men are like that. Some men are shy, but even the shy men know how to, those that are really into you, hold up. Not all shy men. Some shy men know exactly how to come out and tell you that, hey, you're what I want. They'll tell you and leave it alone, and everything else they'll show it. They'll show it to you. That's how shy men work. If they really like you, they'll tell you up front how they feel about you, and the rest will be all show because they're so shy that they don't do a whole lot of talking. My little man, I think he gets nervous every time he see me. Bless his heart. Okay. So, moving on down. And then there was one woman who said, man can't look you straight in the eyes. A man who can't look you straight in the eyes. Do y'all ever look at y'all's husbands or either your boyfriend and you say, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. And then they try their best to look you in your eyes. Do you really believe that eye look? Or, some eyes can be deceiving now. But then again, the eyes are the windows to the soul. If you want to know when a man is being honest with you, you watch his eyes. If his eyes move around, up, especially if they look up to the right corner. Y'all, I used to be working PI stuff, so private investigator stuff, so I learned all this stuff doing training. So if their eyes move around up to the right and stuff, chances are they finna shoot you a lie, or either they're already lying. A guy who's really into you, you can watch his pupils. If he's really into you, his eyes will kind of get big and open. Same with a woman. If a woman is really into a guy, her eyes will get big and open, and you can just tell. You can call them wide eyes. Wide eyes. You can call them wide eyes because they're open and they're so excited that all this blood is pumping through and they're excited to be with you. And you can see. And now whenever they lie, their eyes may stretch a little and their pupils may not get as big. They won't get as big. You ever see somebody who's fussing and they're fussing and they know that they're telling the truth about, and they're really trying to convince everybody about what they're saying, and their eyes get really big because they know it's the truth? That's kind of how it works when you're talking to your other half. If you want to know where they're standing at, just watch their eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. If they really have it for you, the eyes will speak. I wrote a song that said, my eyes just might give us away. I wrote it for my boyfriend because, sometimes we be at programs and stuff, and sometimes we just be doing stuff, and I'll be working, he be working, and sometimes we might walk by and glance at each other. And this was before we was official, as girlfriend and boyfriend. and my eyes would get big, and my jaws are smiling so hard right now, and his eyes would get big, and you could tell that we had that attraction for one another. So yes, the eyes can speak. If they can't look you directly and be sincere with it, the eyes will give it away. The eyes will definitely tell. Okay, and the last one we have here is a woman. She says, there's no worse type of man. There's no worse type of man. Only boys who look like men. With that being said, the worst is the ones that don't respect you. If they respect you, they will not cheat, lie, hit you, etc. And she's right too. She's basically confirming everything that everybody else has said. So there really was no wrong answers today. Everything was right on point. And she said there's no worse type of man. Well, only boys who look like men. Now, being the open person that I am, I see this so many times that we deny what's really going on. And in her statement, in her comment, she says, there's no worse type of man, only boys who look like men. Well, technically, they are men. They are men. They are just who they are, though. And it's up to us to recognize who they are. I know we want to say they act like boys, but why would we want to put our boys down that low? I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. I have a son. I don't want to say to my grown son, you're acting like a boy or something like that. I just feel like that we insult our young boys when we tell older men that they're acting like boys. Why can't we just say you're not acting like a man should act? We have, our words have a lot of meaning. Words have a lot of meaning. So she said there's no worse type of man, only boys who look like men. No, they are men. I guarantee you they're men. They're just who they are. That's the thing about it. They're just who they are. We can't put our young boys down like that. We can't compare grown men to boys like that. They have some immature behaviors. And so do some of us women. We got some immature behaviors that we don't like. But guess what? If we're saying that about boys, about our men, then what are the men saying about the women? Now we got men saying that the women are like little girls. And so the little girls, it's just not right. Let's lead them where they are. Lead them where they are. Let them be. If they are grown, immature men, that's who they are. But let's not give them the boy title again. Especially, they don't, that's an insult because, in the Bible days, I think about that, how once a man and twice a child. Why are we giving this man his, we just building his self-esteem up right there now. No, I don't like that. We need to call it what it is. We got immature men. That's what it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're a boy, but it means that they haven't developed in some areas for whatever reason they haven't developed. And if we keep calling them boys, guess what? They're going to keep acting like boys. And we shouldn't insult our boys like that. So that's the only thing I had to say with that comment. Well, y'all, it has been good, hasn't it? This was juicy tonight. Kiva, y'all, if y'all think this is good, y'all better catch me Wednesday night. You can catch Kiva every Wednesday on the conference call. We're trying to get on over to Blog Talk Radio. That way you can call in and I can chime you in to hear what you got to say and how you want to say it. And I'm going to give you the phone number to that class. Y'all, I so enjoy teaching Kiva. I enjoy talking on air. I enjoy life, period. I love and I live to help others and bring awareness where I can. So that is your awareness tip of the day about those fibroids and also polyps. Women, take care of yourself. Men, take care of yourself. Men, take care of your women. Understand your woman's needs whenever she's in this time, when she's going through this phase. Understand her needs, because and expect her emotions to change, because that's